England kick off the Rugby League World Cup against holders and primary hosts Australia on Friday, October 27. Wayne Bennett's side will be looking to go one better than 2013 when they were knocked out in a dramatic semi-final defeat to New Zealand. England are in one of two groups of four where three go through automatically to the quarter-final stage. Wales, Scotland and Ireland are in the two other three-team groups and play an additional intergroup fixture. The winner in each of those two groups also progresses. Our man Nigel Wishart casts his eye over every nation and looks at their chances in the tournament and picks a best possible team for every nation. Strap in for Wombats, tattooed juggernauts, an Irish cattle chomper and your guide to simply the best players on the planet. Let's start with the hosts and, let's face it, the team that will most likely lift the trophy in Brisbane on December 2nd. The Aussies are a difficult bunch to love, putting state of origin before international competition and stifling the hopes of poor saps like me for the best part of 45 sodding years. They are missing Greg Inglis and most of all Jonathan Thurston, the best rugby player of either code in the world and probably the best badminton, bowls or billiards player too if he put his mind to it. But there's still that Queensland triple act of Cameron Smith, Cooper Cronk and Billy Slater to deal with. When they synchronize their radar it's pretty much unstoppable. When the starting 13 is unlikely to even include the weaselish artistry of James Maloney, the spindly skills of Turbo Tom Turbojevic and the despicable mustache of Cameron Munster, they're the daunting prospect. Starman, captain and hooker Cam Smith was recently described as a hairy accountant by his Melbourne Storm assistant coach Jason Riles. He's unassuming, a sneaky referee botherer and quite brilliant in his simple execution. Stop him to stop them. Possible team: Billy Slater, Dane Gagai, Josh Duggan, Will Chambers, Valentine Holmes, Michael Morgan, Cooper Cronk, Aaron Woods, Cameron Smith, C. David Klimmer, Boyd Cordner, Matt Gillett, Jake Turbojevic. Mirror prediction: green and gold on the podium. Pass the sick bucket. No major injuries, no players going under the knife at their Australian club, all our major NRL stars rested after missing the playoffs. What could possibly stain our build-up? Step forward fullback Zach Hardacre whose balls tit up for England after testing positive for cocaine. It's the second successive World Cup where his hopes have been undone by crass stupidity. Castleford couldn't do without him when they crashed and burned in the grand final, but England have the troops to get to this final without him. Sam Burgess and James Graham have the respect and experience to lead in the pack while Man of Steel Luke Gale has a point to prove after his stellar season fizzled out at Old Trafford. Reading the mind of coach Wayne Bennett is impossible, so expect left field selections and cryptic spaced out mumblings when he talks. Huge shock if they were to beat the Kangaroos in the opener, so prepare for more nail gnawing in a semi-final against big beasts New Zealand or Tonga. Starman: it took a while for Sam Burgess to recover from his rugby union holiday, but on his day only Jason Taumalolo can equal his Marvel superhero levels of seismic power. Possible team: Gareth Widdop, Jermaine Gilvray, Callum Watkins, Ben Curry, Ryan Hall, George Williams, Luke Gale, James Graham, James Roby, Sam Burgess, Elliot Whitehead, John Bateman, Sean O'Loughlin, C. Mirror prediction: Hart says World Cup final day will be spent swigging victory champagne in my undercrackers wearing a flashing jester's hat until I'm sick as a dog on the grog. Head says beaten finalists. Much will rest on their opening game against Lebanon. Win and the quarter-finals beckon, lose and it's au revoir. The French were a huge disappointment in the 2013 competition with their campaign including a 48-0 home roasting by New Zealand. But they fly under the radar this time around with expectations minimal and a core of 8 players from the underachieving Catalans Dragons hoping to put some gloss over their own disappointments this season. Young coach Aurélien Colony is little known outside his homeland and he'll have a tough job when Australia and England are hitting their stride. Huge Catalans prop Julian Busquets will be the cornerstone of the pack with one beefy arm around Lee's socks down irritant hooker Eloy Pellissier. After a period of austerity in French International Rugby League, let's hope for some revolution. Starman: Theophages may as well have a target on his head in Super League. Brave beyond reproach and a game breaker who takes on the line again and again. Possible team: Mark K. Irola, Damien Cardace, Baston Ader, Olivier Arnaud, Fuad Yaha, Theo Fages, C. William Bartha, Julian Busquet, Eloy Pellissier, Lambert Pelmas, Benjamin Julian, Benjamin Garcia, Jason Batiri. Mirror prediction: decent pack but light in the backs. Opener will decide their fate. Raymond Sabat is a household name, but only in his own house. Yet his presence in the tournament is as eye-catching as stars like Cooper Cronk, Ryan Hall, and Sean Johnson. Sabat plays in the Rugby League national competition for Lycans, a team in the town of Burj west of Beirut. He's the only home-based player in their squad but flew to Australia with 4 other products of the country's junior leagues and university system so they could gain experience. They are young men on a journey which will be the pinnacle of their lives according to Lebanon's chief executive Rumen Safi. Lebanon will have huge support from the west of the city when they take on England at Sydney Football Stadium. And in Freddie Fiddler they have the most charismatic coach on show, a TV magnate and legend of the game who will provide column inches and soundbites galore. Starman, hooker Robbie Farah is the sandwich in an all-NRL front row which gives the Cedars a rock-solid foundation. Possible team: Reece Robinson, Travis Robinson, Anthony Lane, James Elias, Bile Marbany, Mitchell Moses, Michael Licha, Tim Manna, Robbie Farah, C. Alex Twell, Chris Saab, Jaleel Savadarbus, Nick Cassis. Mirror prediction: expect passion, commitment and no little flair from a side with Parramatta's Mitchell Moses in the halves and the Robinson brothers in the backline. The death of New Zealand Rugby League has been somewhat exaggerated. The defection of Jason Taumalolo to Tonga, a jury's out coach and David Kidwell and several high-profile exclusions have seen them written off before a ribcage has been rattled. Jesse Bromwich and Kevin Proctor were dumped after being caught with cocaine, Kieran Foran made himself ineligible and Isak Luke was simply not selected. Yet look at the team below. There's heaps of world-class brawn in the pack and finishing power out the back. Right off a side with the class of Dean Ware, Jordan Rapana and Roger Tuivasa-Sheck at your peril. And watch out for Melbourne's monster Nelson Asofa Solomona off the bench. Starman, Sean Johnson broke England hearts in the dying stages of the 2013 World Cup. He's been a faltering playmaker for New Zealand Warriors, yet when his tail is up there is no finer or thrilling broken play runner in world rugby. Possible team: Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, Jason Nightingale, Dean Ware, Gerard Beale, Jordan Rapana, Tamar Martin, Sean Johnson, Adam Blair, C. Thomas Leilui, Jared Waerie Hargraves, Simon Mannering, Martin Toppa, Elijah Taylor. Mirror prediction: implode and Tonga win the group and Australia block their path to the final. Explode and they will fear no one. There were moments during the 2013 World Cup when the Richter scale was a better reference point than the scoreboard. None more so than the clash between New Zealand and Samoa, a rollercoaster ride of harnessed brutality which shook the Warrington stands. This time around the Samoans have another bunch of terrifying units ready to make the ground shake again in the most eye-catching of groups. Hermanases, Junior Paulo and former Hull FC monster Frank Pritchard bulk the pack with Kim Jong-un lookalike center Joey Leilua potentially as destructive as any outside back in the competition. Their potential problem, as Tonga experienced in the last tournament, lies in the halves. Jarome Luai, a Penrith Panthers under-20 player, is the only recognised scrum half in the squad. Castleford's Ben Roberts is likely to line up alongside him, hoping to erase his butterfingered grand final disappointment. Starman, Joseph Papley was axed from Australia's mid-year Anzac Test squad for a drink drive conviction. His switch gives him the chance of redemption. Possible team: Matthew Wright, Ken Momolo, Tim Wafai, Joey Leilua, Young Tonumapi, Ben Roberts, Jarome Luai, Hermanases, Peter Godinet, Junior Paulo, Josh Papley, Frank Pritchard, C. Joseph Paulo. Mirror prediction: should qualify behind the Kiwis and Tongans, but further progress will depend on what chemistry their playmakers can conjure up. Scotland will need to live up to their Bravehearts nickname to survive this group of death. It's the youngest squad they've sent to a World Cup, with 6 players 23 or under and a couple of lads who came through the nation's under-19 pathway. With that inexperience they'll need the seasoned head of Huddersfield's Danny Brow to rise to the occasion. He will lead a squad of players drawn mainly from the championship with NRL big guns Lachlan Coote, Kane Linnett and Peter Wallace all dropping